And now, fresh off a 30-year break from his life in over-the-air radio, here's the host of the most originally named 15 Years Too Late podcast, JaySapChats.
All right, I have Tyler Johnson on JaySapChats. He's a guy I've been following on Twitter for, I guess since he's had about 1,000 followers. And what are you up to, almost 10,000 now?
Close to 10,000. It's tough to get to that 10,000 right now.
What is it? Every follower has to buy a Charlie Golf Company golf bag because you've sold almost 10,000 of those?
I wish it was that easy.
Yeah, exactly. So you're taking this conversation, this podcast from a new facility that you just moved into, but you were in your garage, and I mean, literally, like, you're the American dream story. And I can't wait to have a conversation with you about where it all began and how it all began.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Awesome. So just real quick at the top of it, tell everybody what Charlie Golf Company is.
So we're a kids golf bag and golf club company. So it's a kids golf brand is how we're looking at it for kids 2 to 5 year olds. And then we also have a new set out for 5 to 8 year olds as well that we just launched a couple months ago.
All right. So when you say kids, you're talking about you started your core offer, right, was to 2-year-old to 5-year-olds, toddlers?
Yep, that's still our core product right now. So 2 to 5 year olds, so kids under 45 inches tall. We started with the golf bag. That is what we did, and it's a Sunday style carry bag, wax canvas bag, no stand, just one strap. So a very simple design, which we felt like was, and the reason we started the company was we just wanted something extremely simple to use for a 3-year-old. We didn't think a stand and 2 straps was necessary for a 3-year-old at that time, which was my kid. My kid's name is Charlie. So we're looking for something extremely simple, and we couldn't really find anything. So we just designed our own. And then about 6 months after we launched, we introduced the golf club set that goes into the bags. And that's been very well received.
All right. So if you follow X, if you're on like Golf X, I don't know, Golf Twitter, it sounded better, but call it Golf X. Chances are that you know and or follow Tyler. And he's a tell me if you are okay with me describing you like this. You are a build-in I haven't described you yet. So you're a build-in public accidental entrepreneur.
Yeah, I guess I would say that's very true.
So basically you saw a problem, right? You didn't set out to be an entrepreneur. You weren't like, someday I'm going to own my own business, right?
Not at all. I didn't know where it would lead me. It was just an idea, and we were sort of just testing the waters, seeing what was going to happen with it. Did not expect to quit my full-time job by any means, but I was thinking it more of a side hustle is what I was thinking, and it's turned into something completely different than that.
Awesome. All right. So let's go back in time and let's tell your story in full. You've built in public, and I think people know your story from a little bit of college on, but I'd love to, where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in a very small town in Iowa, 2,500 people, Belle Plaine, Iowa. 1A school. I think my graduating class had 55 people in it, maybe. 9-hole rural golf course, no water fairways, no sand bunkers, small greens, but pretty good course. Lived out there for a lot of my childhood and growing up throughout high school. So that's where I grew up, and then eventually went to the University of Northern Iowa in Cedar Falls.
How'd you get into golf, and what age were you when you got into golf?
So, I mean, my dad had a club for me. He still has it. I think when I asked him last, he said I was 2 to 3 years old when I had that club in my hand. So started young. My grandpa played, my dad played. And then obviously, I played as far as back as I can remember. Feels like I've always had a club in my hands.
So you've always been a golfer. You've always been inside the golf community.
Always have been inside. Yeah. Always been a golfer. Yep. So, yeah, know it pretty well.
When did you get good?
Maybe my I don't know if I'm still
Well, listen,
junior year.
nobody's good at golf. I get it.
Uh,
I understand. Everybody
I
sucks
think
at the game. I understand. But when did you played in college, right?
I played in college. I would say that I was very fortunate to have an opportunity to play at the University of Northern Iowa.
Okay.
So I got the opportunity. I didn't win state or anything like that in high school. I was an okay golfer. I had the opportunity to play on the men's golf team at Northern Iowa, and I would say
What's an okay golfer in high school in the middle of Iowa at a small school shoot? Like what type of scores?
par, even par. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
like breaking par was really good for me at that time. Um, So our high school principal actually knew the golf coach. His brother was the golf coach at Northern Iowa. So like that's sort of how I had the connection there. So I had the opportunity, and I would say it was probably my junior year. I think it was my junior year of college is when I sort of turned the corner. I actually played in maybe one or two tournaments my freshman year of college in the spring. So figured out how like what the other guys were doing, learned a little bit about my swing, made some adjustments, and figured some things out. But I would say my junior year of college, it was the summer, I think. I won the Iowa State match play tournament, played really well at the Iowa amateur. I just played really well that summer. And then from that point forward, I think I played in every golf tournament my junior and senior year at the University of Northern Iowa. So and it's not like it was every time I teed it up at a college tournament, it was like, this might be the quest to break 80. Like, let's make sure we break 80. Every once in a while, I throw in a good score, a couple under par here and there. But I was typically probably averaged around 74, 75 in college is what my guess would be.
Yeah. And so are like going through high school and going through do you have part-time jobs? Do you like like what are you doing
Through
like
high school, so I started when I was 13. I think I was 13 years old. I couldn't drive. I started at a grocery store in our small town, and then I eventually started working. I worked at the golf course in Belle Plaine, so that small town golf course. My dad was a superintendent. I would help weed eat the ditches, mow fairways, mow rough, whatever. I don't think I ever got on a greens mower. He would never let me. But we yeah, I worked at the golf course growing up throughout high school. I also worked at a golf course that was about 25 minutes away, a really a nice course in Iowa, the Mana Colonies golf course. So that's where I sort of learned how to play bigger courses a little, and it was very tight off the tee, so it helped me off the tee quite a bit. Also gave me an area to practice, so practice, driving range, large putting green. Gave me that opportunity to sort of experience that a little bit and open my eyes to outside of that 9-hole rule golf course in Iowa.
Yeah. So nobody knows what they want to do at 18, but when you went away to college, what did you start to think? Like you were working at the golf course, you worked at a grocery store, right? Odd jobs like kids have, teenagers have. Your dad, superintendent, probably woke up incredibly early, showed you a great it sounds like your dad, I mean, obviously I know from your X feed that your dad has an incredible work ethic.
He's
Yeah.
listening to this right now and he's packing bags, so
Yeah.
saving me a bunch of time.
Right, exactly. So, like, what are you thinking to yourself you're going to do? Like when you go away to college, obviously nobody knows what they're going to do, but like, what's your business major? Like, what's the,
I was a business major. I was a business major, literally no idea what I wanted to do. I just
yeah,
thought, okay, I wanted to play golf. Let's do a business major. Sure, that sounds good. That should help cover a bunch of things. I'm sure I can find a job after college with that degree. That was my mindset. I really didn't have a, desire to go in any one direction or the other. Um, yeah, my career before this has just been sort of nothing I've been extremely passionate about, learned some things, managed some people,
mhm,
sold, did some marketing stuff. So it all sort of tied into what I'm doing here at Charlie Golf. Take little bits and pieces of what I've learned previously and put it into this, Charlie Golf, and it's worked out.
yeah. One of my mentors always said, "You learn on other people's dime." That was something that he used to instill upon me, and I think you shared that in your own way. So, when do you meet your wife? Is it in college?
High school.
So
So
you're
yeah,
married to your high school sweetheart?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, dated her in high school. We got married. We've been married 11 years now.
11. How do you mind if I ask how old of a guy you are?
I am, yeah, you're putting me on the spot. 37, 30,
Okay, so
yeah,
you all
37
right.
years old.
Okay, so you date for 8, 9, 7, 10, 8, 9 years before you get married,
Yep.
right? She go to Northern Iowa with you?
Yeah, she was at Northern Iowa, and then she went to nursing school.
Okay. All right. So after college, you move back home, you get your own apartment. What happens?
I took a job. I was a manager of a grocery store chain here in Iowa, Hy-Vee. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah,
I
of
know
course. I know
actually,
Hy-Vee. Yeah.
Hy-Vee. So they opened up a new store in Kansas City. I was doing a training program in Cedar Falls under sort of through it wasn't really through the college, but they had an internship program there and a training program through Hy-Vee. I did that in Cedar Falls. A store opened up, and after a year of the training program, you're supposed to start applying for jobs, getting your own, at that point, kitchen for me. So I took a job at a brand new store in Kansas City, completely way over my head. I was not qualified for it. The guy gave me a chance, sort of like the college golf coach gave me a chance. And I went down there, I moved, I opened up that store, ran that kitchen for about 6 years, and realized real quick I wanted to get out of the retail space, out of the
Yeah.
food service space. I did learn a lot about managing people. There was a team of, I probably had 25 people underneath of me, ranging from 70-year-old people down to 16-year-olds. So I learned a lot about managing people there. But yeah, that's what I did. And then I took a sales job in Iowa. It was based out of Iowa, but I still lived in Kansas City. So I took a sales role for a local company.
When you were in Kansas City, okay, so you're there for 6 years. I mean, that's a long time to be to be at the same place. 6 years.
9 years. Yeah, I was 9 years in Kansas City, but 6 years at that job. Yeah.
But I mean, that's a long time. And like, I got to tell you, I mean, as a golfer, what a brutal job. Like, I mean, that's like a body shop. You're there. You're physically there. That sucks up an enormous. It's not like a sales job. Like you're a salesman. Like you could take clients out and play golf. Like your golf. I mean, you had to be limited in how much time you could actually get on the course, I would assume.
I'll tell you, I barely played golf in Kansas City. Like
Yeah.
literally, and for one, after college, I didn't want to say I lost the sort of
Yeah,
the
I get it.
itch today, but I was just like, all those tournaments and sort of the pressure and the anxiety
Yeah.
that you got playing golf and every shot matters and your score matters. I just sort of, didn't really play after college that much.
I totally get it. My son was a Division III player up in the Northeast, and he told me, he said one time, he goes, Dad, he goes, uh, the only part of tournament golf that's fun is after it's over when you've played well.
100%. That is very well put. Yep.
He said preparing sucks,
Yes.
playing sucks,
Yep.
and playing bad sucks. It's only good one time. So he's also in that, he's working his butt off right now. He's in New York City, the whole thing. So very
Yep.
similar, right? And I think what's going to happen with him is, he'll come back, he'll do the he'll do the older guy, and then it's not going to matter as much. But, for years, just like you're chasing the junior dream, you're chasing that, you put your name and your peers see what you shot. And, you know, even though everybody always shoots an 85 or 86, it's still humiliating when you do it and all that good
Yep.
stuff. And it's just, I can totally understand that. What do you think the lesson out of the time in Kansas City? Like, what do you think the biggest lesson? I think work ethic is instilled in you. I don't think you grow into work ethic. I think you either have it or you don't. Like that's a familial parent, like who you are as a human. But like, what do you think the lessons you learned out of that Kansas City role were?
I mean, the hard work is just, yeah, something that I feel like I've always had. So like that, but it was, again, I mentioned the managing the people might have been the biggest thing that I learned down there. Just figuring out answers to problems like that's always something that running the kitchen, there was always problems, so how do we solve that problem? In sales, there's always problems with the customers. Gave me the grocery store job, like when I was managing the kitchen, customer service was massive, like very important piece of that company. I learned a lot about customer service, and I try to take a lot of that now going into Charlie Golf. Is what can we do to make that customer experience like exceptional? Like whether it's okay, that a person has a birthday in 3 days. Okay, well, I'm gonna make sure I get that bag to them in 3 days. I don't care if I have to charge extra for that expedited shipping. I want that experience to be very good. Somebody can't figure out how to put personalization on. Don't worry, we'll add personalization to your bag. Like I don't want to have the hassle of you having to go back, reordering, doing all that stuff. So I try to take that stuff into mind, but customer service was a huge thing I learned in Kansas City with that first job.
Did you have any thoughts of being an entrepreneur when you were in Kansas City or starting your own business? Maybe didn't have an idea yet. Like, were you thinking about, did it creep in at all that like, why am I doing this for somebody else?
Yeah, I crept in. I had a couple ideas that I never really went through with. Like there was always, okay, let's create the logo, let's buy the domain, let's sort of kick around the tires. There was an idea that my buddy and I had of, we were in sales, handwriting a thank you note to the customers. We thought that was, something really cool. So we created this little small app where we wanted it to integrate with a CRM, and that sales rep would just, whatever the note may be, we would handwrite the notes and send them on out. Like we were thinking, okay, let's do the handwritten note things. So very not scalable, but it was just an idea, like a little
Yeah.
micro SaaS business is what we were looking for at the time when SaaS was sort of a big deal. But yeah, I mean, I always had like little tiny ideas, but never really went through with anything.
So what's happening at home at this point? Like you're married, your marriage life is going well. Do you have any kids in Kansas City? Do you like, are you talking to your wife? She's a nurse. Are you talking to your wife about like, boy, like I need a change, like I need like something different? Or are you starting to get an itch or where's like your emotional state relative to business?
No, not in Kansas City, I wasn't. I mean, I was just, the company that I worked at for my second in that sales role, was awesome. It was an ESOP company, privately owned. I knew I had some buddies that worked there from the golf team. It was growing. It was fun to be a part of. Nothing exciting by any means. It was
Hmm.
not like exciting stuff that we were selling, but it was fun to be part of that team growing. They took good care of me. And then I, sort of just worked my way up in that company. And then I took a job, a general manager job at that company, which moved me back to Iowa at that time. So that's how I got back to Iowa. I took that job literally right before COVID hit. Probably looking back, it was about 4 months later. I'd be in Kansas City for a little bit longer. I mean, we were always going to try to make our way back to Iowa probably at some point. At that time, did not have any kids. When we moved back, my wife was pregnant at that time. So in
Okay.
late 2019, but yeah, my wife was pregnant.
So, okay. So 2019, COVID hits. You're still at the same company through COVID,
Yeah, yep. Through COVID until literally January of 2025.
through January 2025. But the idea for Charlie Golf Company comes to you. Your son is, you just have the one son,
Just have the one son. Yep.
and the idea for Charlie Golf Company comes to you when? Give me sort of like, when did it come? Where were you? Of course there was a napkin involved, right? Back of the napkin. Like, give me the
Text message,
exact story.
actually. Or text message to somebody. But
A text.
so the
Okay, so
backstory,
text
yeah,
message.
it was a text message. I remember it vividly to this day.
Give me it,
I have a screenshot of it. So the backstory, I mean, going a little bit further back,
please.
my kid was so Charlie was probably, well, he would have been 2 years old, and our second kid, our daughter, was born in August. So shortly after my daughter was born, I would take Charlie out to the golf course when he was 2 years old to get out of the house for something for us to do. Um,
August
yeah,
22, like August 22.
it would have been August of, when was my daughter born? Yeah, August of 2022. Yeah.
Okay. So August of 22. So you're taking Charlie out to the golf course with you. He's 2 years old. What, like
He had his
sliced
yeah,
down a
he had
club?
his cut down clubs from my dad. My dad cut him down clubs. He had a driver and a putter. My dad had all these old clubs laying around. He'd chop them off, put like a blue grip on it or whatever the gender of the baby would be. And we had those two clubs. I want to say it was two, maybe three clubs that we would literally just carry around out to the golf course. That's what we used. I mean, persimmon wet, like driver, old clubs. extremely heavy, right? So that was sort of the foundation of it. We would go out throughout that year, and just sort of hit balls, go to the putting green. He'd ride on the cart with me when I would go out to just play little 9-hole courses or whatever. But the idea then came to me it was July of eh, late June of 2023 is when the idea came to me. I was out at that golf course driving range, and we were carrying those clubs, and I'm like, okay, I need to get a bag for Charlie. This is time. It's time to get him a bag. So I remember that day as I was leaving the driving range, I text my buddy, who my buddy at that point, I think literally just quit his job to start a putter company, and build putters out of his garage. So I'm like, Jared, I got my idea, kid golf bags. And, and like, he's like, great idea. Roll with it or whatever. So that night I went on looking for, okay, how in the heck do I find a manufacturer for a soft goods? And I went down the rabbit hole. I had the idea, the design in my head. I put it on in Canva is what I used sort of to design this golf bag, a simple golf bag. I'm not creative by any means. So I'm like, all right, blue bag, white leather. Let's roll with it. Let's see what we can do. So I worked with that like right then within that day or so, a couple of days, I had a logo that it took me 5 minutes to make. Still the original one. I had somebody, design the little golfer guy carrying the bag. I did the tech stuff in Canva. I bought the domain. I was ready to roll. And I reached out to this manufacturer. I got prototypes in about 3 weeks. The prototypes were okay. They weren't perfect. There was some work we had to do. I actually reached out to multiple manufacturers. I
Yeah.
tried to vet as best as I could. And the one that was most responsive, the best quality, we went with that. We made some adjustments to it. Mainly in the strap was the hardest thing for like a 3-year-old to make sure it was flexible enough, to make sure it fit on the shoulder, all that stuff. And the best thing is I had a perfect test subject at home. My kid was literally 3.5 years old at that time. So we designed it. We, made changes to it, did all that stuff. And I put in an order for 150 bags, 50 blue, 50 pink, and 50 gray. And I'm, paid for them out of our own pocket, got all the startup costs ready to roll out of our own pocket, and sort of the genesis of the story there. And we launched in November of 2023 then.
What is happening at home at this time? You have two kids under 3.
Yep.
Wife's working as a nurse outside the home.
Yeah.
Do you
But
have
she was
yes?
working as a nurse until about September of 2023. And part of me, we had the discussions of her wanting to stay at home with the kids.
Uh-huh.
And part of the whole idea of this side hustle was, okay, she's staying at home. What can I do to bring in a little extra income
Mhm.
during this time where she was going to stay at home, losing her income as a nurse? Okay, what can we do to supplement some of this stuff, right? So she actually ended up staying at home in November of 2023.
So, what are the conversations with her like? Because you're putting up, and I'm not asking you the specifics, but I'm a smart enough businessman to know that it's between 5 and 10,000 bucks of your own money when it comes into domains and logos and offshore manufacturing and samples and shipping samples back and forth. And it just adds up. I mean, you don't want it to add up, it adds up. And you're between, right, 5 to 10,000 in an investment in your business with zero sales and an idea, inventory on the way, and hope. That's not a one person job. You've been with her a long time. What are those conversations like?
I said, Jolene, I have an idea. And I thought she was going to say, oh, another idea, because my buddy and I, we always spit ideas back and forth for years leading up. We never did anything with them, just an idea, an idea, an idea, idea. I told her, and she's like, sounds like a great idea. And that was pretty much the end of the conversation. And I sort of rolled with it. And she didn't ask many questions at all. Obviously very supportive in it. Took care of the kids a lot of those times when we were trying to figure it out. So she has not questioned it really at all. To be quite honest with you, she's a pretty laid back person, but she really didn't have any reservations at all.
So you and Jared would spitball ideas back and forth, right? As you
Yep.
shared. Well, how come you didn't do any of the other ideas?
We focused on our career at the time. I mean, we just ran out. We did.
Like, what was it about this? Like, was it that you visually saw the problem and felt like you had the skills accumulated over the course of your learning to solve it? Like, what was the impetus for this to be the
I think there was something about having the product in your hand that was really like that was really cool because I feel like all of our other ideas were like technology based, and like
Hmm.
I have no clue about technology. Like I have a general idea about technology, but I felt like having something in my hand was fun. Like
Yeah.
there was something more to it. So I did enjoy that, and I did think that I had the skills to I sort of followed his lead because he was really good on social media, and leading up to that November of 2023, I was telling the story. I wasn't getting a whole lot of traction, on Twitter. It was whatever here and there. And then I hit a couple really big posts that the wait list exploded, and that got me excited. Whenever I could get like one or two people to join the wait list, it was exciting to me. I'm like, okay, there might, hey, this is cool. One, two people. Okay, we're at 30 people on the
So you
wait list.
started a
This is
wait
awesome.
list. You started a wait list before you actually had the product in hand.
I mean, probably before I even had it was one of the very first things I did is I made a landing page and a way to capture emails. And then I started telling a story and directing people to that landing page months in advance. I would say almost before I had the prototype, I was starting a wait list.
How much of the Charlie Golf Company story that I read on X was predetermined and calculated versus from the gut, off the cuff, and just super genuine?
All off the cuff. I didn't know what I was doing. I can tell you I did not have anything calculated. I was trying to tell my story on social media. I was getting the wait list to increase. It was fun. It was exciting. I thought there was something. And this was before I even sold a product. I also knew that there was two things that happened. My kid loved the bag. He absolutely loved the prototype bag, like loved it. So I knew that, okay, well, maybe other kids do it. I made another purple one for Jared's kid at the time, JoJo. So she wanted a purple bag. I made a purple bag for her, like as a prototype. And he sent me a text when he was up in Michigan, took his daughter out to the golf course with his wife and whatever. And he said, Tyler, I got multiple compliments on that golf bag. And this was, the prototype bag. So like that made me excited as well. Knowing that, okay, they're people seem to like it. It's sort of eye catching. There's nothing really out there like it right now. So, let's sort of see what happens with it.
After you launched the bag, they come in 150 bags come in. How long before they were sold out?
28 minutes. I was just looking at it the other day. It was 4 minutes for the blue, 10 minutes for the pink, and about 28 minutes for the grays. I started realizing real fast what kids potentially would like, and that's color. So I now know that I put the grays out there thinking gender neutral, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe we're not really sure what the gender is going to be. Maybe it's a birth whatever a gift. So that's sort of where I went with it. But yeah, 28 minutes
Yeah.
were the first 100 bags.
All right. So you sell out in 28 minutes. Again, I want to just go back because I believe that being an entrepreneur is a family affair. Obviously, your dad works with you, and we'll tell that a little bit of that story as well because it's an amazing piece of it. I was close with my pop before he passed. You are close with your dad. I mean, obviously, and like his effort has been inspirational as a father. Like it actually chokes me up, and as a son. You go inside, you tell your wife we sold out, or she's right with you when you sell out in 28 minutes. Give me that. Tell me what happens. Give me that sort of
All
reaction.
right. Well, that day, I'll never forget. Two like little lawn chairs set up. Those like little folding chairs set up. Sort of cold out there. There was a blanket. We had nothing prepared. I had a little monitor set up so we can see the live dashboard of Shopify. I had a fridge, few beers in there, And my buddy came on over with because he wanted to see what was going on. And Jared came on over, so he was there. And yeah, my kids were out there, and my wife were out there, and we were sort of hooting and hollering. I mean,
What
like
did
when
you
we heard
send
the
did you send a post and said they're now live? Did you clear people off the waiting list? Give me the mechanism of like how it happened and walk me through like that half hour.
Yeah, so I had the wait list. So those emails that I accumulated, we were up to about 1,000 of them at that time, probably over 1,000 of them on that wait list. And the day before, 24 hours in advance, I said, okay, here's the deal. We're ready to launch. We have 150 bags. We have 50 of this color, 50 of this color, 50 of this color. We're dropping them at 10 a.m. There's over 1,000 people on the list. There's only 150 available. And basically I did that 24 hours. And then on the time of the day, I had an email ready to go, scheduled for that 10 o'clock drop. And we saw the dashboard light up like a Christmas tree, something I'll never forget. The sounds of the Shopify notification is intoxicating. There's an adrenaline rush with it. Yeah, we were just shocked. And at that point, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I started making boxes. I'm like, I guess we better make 150 boxes. We had none of the bags ready to go, like wrapped up how we typically would do it now. It took us over about 2.5 days to get 150 bags packed. And they were just the golf bags. So at that time, just golf bags took us over 2.5 days. My dad came up on that very first time. I think my mom was up there as well, just to sort of help out with the kids, help out where she could out in the garage. And we got it. My wife was out there helping pack, and we got it knocked out in 2.5 days. And after we got them all packed up, I'm like, okay, now how do I get them to UPS? So we had to haul 3 loads to UPS, dropped them all off, and ready to go for immediately ordered more. And
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
rolled that over and did that many, many times.
All right. So like it's funny how entrepreneurialism works, right? Because you sold 150 bags and now you have a new problem to solve.
Exactly right. Yep.
How
I
fast am I going to get? How fast am I going to
need
get the
more.
new? How fast am I going to get the new bags in? How many bags am I going to order? What are those bags going to look like? And oh, by the way, when I get those new bags in, because it's not tomorrow, are people still going to care and be interested in these new bags?
Exactly right. I didn't think about that at the time. I'm like, okay, I have this revenue from these 150 bags. I'm going to buy as many bags as possible. And I bought as many bags as possible because I knew the wait list. I also knew how many active carts there were at that time. When I sent that email, I could sort of see the activity on the website. So I'm like, well, if there's that many people, and then I got all these emails back, and then I posted about it on social media, and it drove more of the wait list because people were like, what the heck's going on here? What am I missing out on? Okay, I think I need one for my kid. Like that's, it's sort of, it's all this snowball effect that started happening on social media, and like our email list and all that stuff started growing. So I immediately that day I told our manufacturers, let's get this many ordered, and please get them to me as fast as humanly possible. So, and
All right. So you listen, I'm a golfer, obviously, and I know the world really well. There's other companies out there that cater specifically to kids. Um, why do you think your company like what about your product resonated and made it so big so fast? I mean, you're big now,
I
big-ish.
mean, yeah, there's a lot bigger fish out there, but yeah, I
Of
mean, we're
course,
growing. So that's
you're
good.
growing.
But I mean, I would say it was one of those things where there's been a lot of, I would say, legacy kids golf brands in the business that maybe didn't have a story to tell. And I took that to heart as far as when my buddy told me, I'm like, how do I post on social media? He's like, tell a story. So I have always, the storytelling is a huge part of it. And I think through Twitter and X and now on LinkedIn, it's like I'm telling the story. I think people understand that there's this guy, he's out there. Now they can put this name, this face to this product. There's a story behind it. And I think there's something to that I like people can relate to. I think that's really what it is. And um I I don't know. The bags are cool looking, yeah, but I think there's more to the story, I think, is how people can relate to it.
I don't disagree with that. Did you like where does the storytelling come from? Like, where is that part of you that
I honestly didn't know I had it. I've never wrote anything. I just sort of, this is what's on my mind, and this is how I would talk, and this is it. I'm just gonna put it on paper, put it on whatever, tweet it out, type it out, and let's let it rip and see what happens.
so before we continue, a big piece of this story is I'm going to try not to get emotional during this because I can be a little soft like this. But a big piece of this is your dad. Your dad lived what, 2 hours away,
He did. We just
and
recently, so now he's only an hour away. But yeah, it was 2 hours, 2 hours 15 minutes, one way.
and is he retired?
No,
So he works full time.
no, he works part time,
He works
second
part time,
shift at a warehouse, second shift. Yeah,
and he was
he's blue,
driving
blue
back,
collar guy, blue collar
and
guy.
he was driving back and forth 2 hours each way for the first year and a half of the business, working for
Yes,
nothing. By the way, I love the labor cost. Uh,
it helped staying lean.
as you packed, and I'm just going to come up with a number guessing over the course of 2 years, almost 7,500 orders out of your garage, shoulder to shoulder with you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he would sleep. He would come up on a Friday, sometimes Thursday. He usually just worked Monday, Tuesday. So he was shot on Wednesday. So on Thursday, sometimes he would come up, or on Friday, he would come up. We didn't even have a guest bedroom in our old house. He slept on the couch in the basement with the TV on, and he would stay up there for a couple days. And we would literally pack golf bags, these kid golf bags, and out of the garage throughout the winters in Iowa. It was heaters would go down. We would be out there freezing cold with a propane Mr. Heater thing, trying to blast it, keep us warm. We had a little TV in there to watch like Iowa women's basketball when Caitlin was there, and we'd have golf on and did whatever else was on for sports. So yeah, he was just we just packed bags. I mean, that's that's what we did. There would be times where we're like, I can't believe people, this is sort of crazy. This is a little crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's incredible. I just, as a father, and like I said, as a son, I mean, I just get kind of choked up when I that part of the story for me is the nicest part of the story because it's that connection with family. I mean, your dad's helping you. Your business is named after your son. Your son, you know, is the inspiration behind the story. I mean, I can't think of a more wholesome. You're in Iowa. I can't think of a more wholesome story than this. I mean, it's just like pinch yourself stuff.
Yeah, my dad always, my grandpa passed away probably, I don't know. When did he pass away? October 3 years ago,
Oh, I'm sorry.
October 2022, he passed away, and like he would have loved it. My dad always says, "Oh man, wonder what Grandpa would have thought of this," because it'd be something that he would have loved. And honestly, going back there, I mean, with my grandpa as well, like when he passed away, we had like these stock or bonds or something like that he found that were written in my name, and it was like worth $1,200. So I actually took that $1,200, and that was part of that was a part of the money that I used to buy those first 150 bags. And then the gray bag is called the Birdie because my grandpa's nickname was Birdie. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it sort of goes back generations now.
Yeah, I think my nickname would be Chunky or something, not Birdie, but Birdie's a good
Well,
nickname.
great nickname, but it has nothing to do with golf. So, that's what I
Yeah.
found out.
Oh, that doesn't have anything to do with golf.
No, people
Yeah,
always related it to golf because he was always at the golf course, but
that's funny.
the nickname did not come from golf.
All right, so give me kind of. So, all right. By the way, just full disclosure, I would always come into your DMs. You always would ask, like, should we? I'm thinking about embroidery. I'm thinking about customization, and I would always come into your DMs and send you a message. You know, you ended up
Yeah.
getting into the embroidery game I could talk about that forever. The embroidery you do is incredibly complex and long and time consuming, and I admire you for doing it. And I'm glad I don't have to do it.
Well, I mean, I'm typically doing just kids' names and text, 8 characters long. It was something that I picked up pretty quick just for that text and the personalization of the bags. The logo
I've
work
seen
I'm
some
not
of the. Hold on a second. I've seen some of the logo work that you're doing on those bags. Those are incredible, like very detailed.
I'm not doing that here.
Oh, you're not.
So that will help. Yeah, because there's a reason why.
Smart.
Those I can't hoop those bags
Yes.
in those areas after. So we do that pre-production of the bag. I have a
Yeah. Of
very
course.
good supplier that's been helping me out. So,
Yeah. I mean, that makes complete and total sense. 100%.
but the names I'm doing here. That's what I'm doing here is the names
So,
right now.
okay, give me where we're at now with Charlie Golf Company, where people can find you, where they can buy the bag. Give me the overview of 2010, you know, October 2025. It's holiday season. You've got to be stocked and jacked for the holidays. What's going on?
So yeah, we moved down to the warehouse, moved to a new city in August. We moved to a new city. I moved to this warehouse. It's 1,500 square foot. Moved down here, I think in probably about May, maybe end of April, beginning of May is when I got it. And we started building it out, getting the warehouse racking, all that sort of the layout of it done. So I was driving back and forth about an hour, 15 minutes there for quite a while. Moved the family down to we're in Cedar Falls, Iowa now. That's where the warehouse is at. Now it's an hour, about 55-minute drive from my dad. Super easy for him to come on up and help out. So we got the warehouse absolutely stocked. We, anticipating a busy holiday season. Last year was our first holiday season. So we at least have some general data behind, okay, what it could be. And factoring in, hopefully there's some growth, and now we're doing some more paid ads, and there's things that we're trying to factor in. Hopefully we have enough of inventory. I mean, it's all I could really afford, so we're going with it. And yeah, just last week, I want to say it was last week, we crossed 10,000 total orders.
Awesome.
So far, and it hasn't been 2 years quite yet. So yeah, next month will be our 2-year anniversary of when we officially launched the business and sold our first bag. So yeah, 10,000 orders. I look at it as, 10,000 families are introducing their kids to the game of golf, and there's dads out there, moms out there playing with their kids. And there's also a lot of grandpa and grandmas that love the gift idea because I think they're sick of buying plastic toys. I think there's something about this gift the grandparents will buy that means a little bit more, especially if you're from a golf family.
Yeah, it's generational for sure. Now, what's the plan? Is it PGA shows? Is it what's the next maturation? Have you thought through? I mean, or is it all just stay direct?
We are direct's obviously a big part of the business, but the other channel is going to be wholesale to green grass shops. And we've done about, I don't know, probably 45 clubs so far that we've done logoed bags for that they're bringing into their pro shop. So I'm going to be focused on the green grass shops for wholesale. We've had an unbelievable response to this. There have been many clubs that have been reordering. They have told me that there's can't believe they sold out, or they sold out so fast. And some clubs are on their third, fourth reorder already, within a year. So that's an area that I'm going to focus on specifically in January and February, where it's a little bit slower time of the year, is where I can start focusing on the wholesale side of things a little bit more, because all these clubs have contacted me about bringing bags in. I have not done one outreach to anybody or any club about getting our bags into their pro shop. So that's an area that I'm looking to grow. And then obviously the next size, that product for the 5 to 8 year old. So 46 inches to 53 inches tall. We have those junior sets that, we haven't really marketed too much. And there's a reason why. Pretty much, most people don't bring in new golf products in the middle of July.
Yeah.
That's when they end up coming in. I was sort of stuck between, okay, what the heck do I do? Okay, we'll release some of them. We had people asking for them. Okay, we'll release some of them, but I need to get through the holidays as well. And I didn't have enough cash at that time to put another reorder. And plus I didn't have the feedback from customers yet, as far as these initial first generation stand bags that we designed. Like what's the response going to be? I couldn't buy more at that time. So we sort of slow played it into the holidays, and then we'll start ramping that back up, after the holidays, and start figuring out that product line.
Tyler, you're an
more.
American success story. You are you're great to you're great to read on X. Share with how people can get a hold of you.
Yeah, so website, charliegolfco.com is where all of our stuff lives. I'm on X, I'm on LinkedIn, and our brand is on Instagram. So the Charlie Golf Co. Brand is on Instagram.
What's your handle on X?
Tyler Johnson _59.
59.
I've never shot 59. This was part of another idea that I had. It was 59 design. I wanted to work with small golf courses, rural golf courses around Iowa, to get them a website that looked decent instead of a Facebook page. So
yeah,
that was an idea way back when.
Try to keep the enthusiasm. I can share with you that it's a lot harder in the execution and operational stage than it is in the idea stage, which I guess you're learning now as you cross 10,000 bags sold.
We're trying. Honestly, I come here to the shop and I'm excited every day. Like it's fun to be a part of. It's fun to build something. We'll just sort of see what happens with it, and eventually we're gonna be growing the team, and I got to figure that out. That's gonna be the next hurdle that I have to figure out, is how do we grow the team, because I can't do it all by myself, and even with my dad, it's like he's the few hours that he works, I have to get help here, that reliable help.
Tyler, it was a pleasure speaking with you, learning your story. I'll continue to follow along on X, and really appreciate your time today.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Take care.
Thanks for listening to JaySapChats. I hope you leave a little bit better than you came. And here's wishing you a beautiful week.